the 77th session of the United Nations General Assembly begins today in New York. The group will be finally back together in person after 3 years of video conferencing due to the coronavirus pandemic. Dre Clark joins us now live with a look at what we can expect today. Good morning, Dre.
Mitch, good morning. We'll talk more about what will be happening here at the UN, not only today, but for the remainder of the week. But first, I want to give you a sense of the massive security outlay here outside the United Nations. This is only a small sampling of the security that you will see here. There are literally hundreds of federal officers and agents surrounding this area. The NYPD is providing coverage for land, air, and sea. And then you take into consideration all of the world leaders who are here with their own security as well. It nonetheless is truly impressive to see just how much security is required to ensure a high level of safety here outside the United Nations. Now, this will be the largest General Assembly to happen here in years, certainly since the pandemic. Many world leaders had elected to deliver their remarks virtually over the past 2 years, but now they are required to speak in person. That's 157 heads of state and government who will speak to the assembly over the next 5 days. Now, President Joe Biden will be speaking on tomorrow. The president, like many other world leaders, left London yesterday after the Queen's funeral, making his way here to New York City. The president also making headlines recently, first saying that he believes the pandemic is over. And then in the same 60 Minutes interview, the president says he intends to run for re-election, but the decision is still up in the air. But while he is in office, he still has a number of domestic and world affairs to address. Inflation remains a thorn in the side of the American economy. And globally, the war in Ukraine and climate change will both be talking points for the president when he stands before the assembly tomorrow. Now, the president will also stress the importance of building alliances with other nations, saying it's advantageous to the security and prosperity of the respective countries and nations who are gathered here this week. Now, two other concerns that President Biden has at the top of his list. First is concerning Iran. The president does not want to see nuclear weapons in the hands of the Iranians, and he's hoping that other world leaders will join him in that resistance. We do know that Iranian officials will be here this week speaking at the UN Assembly, but they have indicated there are no plans to sit down to speak with the president. The other area is China. China continues to show signs of military escalation against Taiwan. And in that 60 Minutes interview, President Biden said in no uncertain terms, if the Chinese were to go after that country, Taiwan, that America will be in a position and will defend Taiwan, no questions answered. That certainly was very surprising to hear. And one other point, certainly human rights groups are very concerned with what they call some of the human atrocities that are happening in China as we speak. So there certainly is a lot to see and hear at the United Nations, a lot of security as the world and others here embrace to hear from some of their allies from other countries from around the world.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation in your cable lineup. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-based, unbiased coverage.